Dave the Pickup Artist.
Hello, VC. Vinyl Richie's been doing a thread, a best of thread, going from year to year, and I thought I'd do a response to his best of 1968 thread. Here's the thing, he hasn't done it yet. He just put out his 1967. So I thought I'd go ahead and record mine so before he did his, so I wouldn't be influenced by his picks. And then when he does do his 1968 picks, I can release it, my video, about an hour after his and kind of freak him out and have him say, how do you do that so fast? So yeah, let's get started. 1968, a great year for music. First album, The Pretty Things, SF Sorrow. Great album. This is, I think, The Pretty Things' last album. It's basically a rock, kind of a rock opera. In fact, there's a little bit of controversy. A lot of people think this was actually the first rock opera and not The Who's Tommy. But this actually came out before that. And it's rumored that Pete may have got the idea for Tommy from this album. It's a lot alike, but a great album. Definitely best of material. Next, this is about the most mainstream album from my picks, Beggar's Banquet. This is actually a CD reissue that features the original artwork. Great album. Another band around that time that was having toilet problems was the Mamas and the Papas. This next one's kind of oddball. Dr. John, the Night Tripper, Gris. This is Swampadelia, his first album, maybe his best. It's got a lot of killer tracks. A lot of these tracks would be covered by other artists. It's got a weird, he's got a recipe for gumbo on the liner. And that cover is just bizarre as hell on Atco. Loving that one.
I want to be clear.
This one barely got in, but yeah, great album. West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band Volume. I can never get the titles right. Yeah, this is Volume 3. And it is very experimental, for sure. It's got a lot of great tracks. A couple head scratchers. The last track is called a Tribute to World War III. And it's 2 minutes of silence. So you don't know whether your record's done yet or not. It's pretty bizarre. Some of the stuff is bizarre, but I just love these guys. I actually like the one before this they put out better, Volume 2, but this is very good. Next we got Cream, Wheels of Fire. Gotta have some Cream in there. This is a double album, half live, half studio, RSO label. Another experimental group in my top 10. The United States of America. This is some killer electronic, yeah, just psychedelia. They didn't have a guitar player in the band, but they had a violin player and a bassist, and they would have effects that would make it sound like there was several guitar players in it. It's a great album, very weird. One of the weirdest tracks is I Wouldn't Leave My Wooden Wife for You, Sugar. So yeah, some little bit of wanker tracks on it, but all in all, this is I think one of the better albums that came out in '68. Another great album was Small Faces, Ogden's Nut Gun. This obviously isn't a first press. This is a recent import for us, but yeah, they did a great job with this. It's out there, very psychedelic and laid back, but there's some rocking stuff on here also. So on Intermediate, Small Faces were great. My next pick, Jeff Beck, Truth. Jeff Beck's got a great band on this album for his debut. And yeah, that's a great version of Morning Dew. My favorite track is the last track, Ain't Superstitious. Of course, we got Rod Stewart on vocals. Next one I've got I think helped usher in hard rock and heavy metal. 1968, this came out. Vincebus Eruptus by Blue Cheer. It's a great album. They actually had a single off this. They did a cover of Eddie Cochran's Summertime Blues, and it was a moderate hit for them. And they ended up putting out a second album with the same lineup, which was also very good. And they're also referred to as helping, you know, start the heavy metal scene. And I think this definitely deserves a top 10 representation. So, yeah. And finally, my last pick was The Doors, Waiting for the Sun. This is a vinyl and CD box set. I think this is my second favorite Doors album. The first being my favorite. Yeah, it's definitely one of the better albums of '68. So I don't want to take the vinyl out, but yeah, The Doors, another great. I like the first album and this album and LA Woman the best. So yeah, that is my top 10 of 1968. It should be fun to see what Vinyl Richie picks, and I'll release this after he puts his video out for 1968. So should be interesting. And yeah, that's it. And I'll see you again real soon.